Welcome back to the APA. It is episode 190. Holy crap, that's crazy to say.
The Apollo Protection Pagency.
Pagency.
Yeah, we get 10 away from 200, whatever that means. It's still Saturday. We're still recording. We're still playing Starfinder. We're going to keep it rolling.
Emily's still wearing that hentai shirt.
She is still wearing the
I love this shirt so much.
Yeah. What is
that?
Yeah. What is N? Nitrogen. So it's helium, nitrogen. What's TA?
Tantalum?
Tantalum and then iodine.
And it says, yeah, I'm into science.
It's the greatest shirt.
Hentai. Yeah, I'm into science.
Yeah, it's like one of the top 5 best shirts I own. So
That is pretty good, though.
Well, I have a question for you guys for this opening banter.
Not if it's about hentai, you don't.
No, it's not.
Please give me a question about hentai.
I'm literally trying to get away from that.
Sprinting away.
Yes.
It's hard to get away from tentacles, I'm just saying.
So this is a level up episode, and so in the interest of that, I want to ask you guys each a classic icebreaker question.
Oh boy.
If you could have a superpower, what would it be?
I feel like we've done this.
Nope.
If we haven't,
You probably did it in class this week.
No.
I know I've answered this question before. Whether or not it was for the icebreaker, I've answered this question. And I still stand by my answer. Shape-shifting.
Shape-shifting.
Yeah.
That's an interesting one.
Why?
So she could have sex as an animal.
Listen, bitch, stop telling all my business. Oh my goodness. No, but for real though, because then you get kind of everything. You can shapeshift into a bird and you can fly. You can shapeshift into like a shark and you can swim.
You mean full shapes, druid
Yeah,
full on,
like wild
Animorphs
shape styles.
style.
Yeah, Animorphs for sure. Like we ain't doing nothing half-assed. But of
I don't
course,
want the 2-hour limit Animorphs has. Then you get stuck as the animal.
Mm-hmm.
well, depending on the animal, that could be cool. But no, but also there would of course be the hybrid option, so you could kind of like a half transition, as it were, in the typical classic lycanthropic situation, as it were.
Okay, so your superpower would be lycanthropy, a curse. Got it. All right, Zach. What about you?
Are we surprised?
All right, so
No.
like practically, I think that flight would be like just my jam. I would take telekinesis if I could use that telekinesis to also fly. You know what I'm saying? Other things, if I could move myself and have a makeshift version of self-flight, that would be my jam. Yeah.
You say that Brandon Sanderson's Mistborn series, that's how the magic system works, pushing and pulling metals, and they use those metals to sling themselves around.
Yeah.
Which is essentially
like that.
flight.
That would be dope. I would love to be able to like move objects with my mind, but the most important object to move my mind, in my opinion, would be me, because I want to fucking fly.
That's mind bullets, Kyle.
Yeah.
Like, I want to be able to pee without holding my dick.
There's a superpower. I never saw one.
I would not use it to fight crime, right? I would use it to get to skip traffic on the way to work. You know what I'm saying?
Heath, what about you?
Initially, I was thinking, you know how Superman can like just flip through a book and have read the whole thing? Yeah. That's pretty dope. But then I was like, no, but like I really enjoy the process of reading, so I don't want to do that. Teleportation, if it doesn't mean that I'm just dying and being cloned over and over again.
We're talking superpowers. Yeah, we're talking superpowers, so you know.
But yeah, like magic style teleportation, I think, trumps flight in terms of efficiency, maybe a little less fun. Would be super convenient. Like being able to teleport to work, like, I rolled out of bed late, I got 5 minutes to get there, no problem. But also, like, it would let me travel. Like, I can go to, like, I don't have to spend thousands of dollars to go to London for a month, like,
me
just fucking
flying.
go.
Can we just, like, for a second?
Bring me a Cliff Bar and then hit the road.
Hit the skies.
I'll wait on you.
What, Josh?
No, I was going to say mine was, I wish I'd gone before Heath, because it was also teleportation. Like, the ability to just be somewhere else at any time would be amazing.
I mean,
if you
you're
wanted
saying
to
you don't
basically
want to be here
fly,
right now?
you could keep. Well, look, don't read too much into that. If you could like teleport up and forward a bit and then fall super fast, or just immediately teleport in a very short succession in a line, it's essentially flying. If you wanted to have the experience of flying,
that's pretty much how it is in the Stormlight Archive.
Yeah.
Is that they use light to like
still
orient
reading
gravity.
Oh, wait,
that's
yeah.
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. It's in the first fucking chapter, man.
No, that's
You
so
know?
not that. This is like teleport. If you could do it fast enough, think like
Well,
Dragon
like
Ball style.
the way you said,
instant
like,
transmission.
fall in a different direction. Is what I was thinking about,
I was talking about like if you, and then I refined it because like if we're talking superpowers, it wouldn't have to be like teleport forward 10 yards and then fall so you can see where you are, and then teleport forward 10 yards again, kind of up at an angle. And
That's
do
like
kind of
City of Heroes teleportation.
yeah,
is what that
Right.
is.
like not that crap. Like if we're talking full on superpowers, I'm teleporting sub-millimeters in front of myself over and over at extremely fast speed to where I'm essentially flying if I want that experience.
See, I would be such a mundane teleporter too. Like, not only to Zach's point, like just getting to work, but like not paying for concert tickets. You know, like I just teleport in the building, and it's like, what? Try to get me, motherfucker! I'll just teleport out and teleport back.
Miss me again.
But
You couldn't be jailed. Like you
Yeah,
like,
just get out of there, no problem. But then on top of that, like the real nerd in me is like, if I'm, watching a documentary about Pompeii, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna teleport over there and look at it myself for a minute.
I'm so glad that you're kind of like digging down into this, because for a second I was really feeling a little self-conscious. I was like, everybody else's superpowers is based on efficiency, and mine is just like, I could actually be a fox. Like,
Live your dream.
I mean, live your best life.
Do you? What about you, John?
So while the teleportation is incredibly appealing, and if I could choose two, then definitely teleportation as well. But ultimately, I would also have to choose telekinesis as well. I was appealed by, like, have you ever seen the movie Chronicle, 2012? It was like with Michael B. Jordan. Anyway, basically is able to, like, there's telekinesis involved, but it's also is able to fly through telekinesis as well.
Then, I want that kind of telekinesis.
Yeah. I mean, that shit's cool. I find that fucking awesome. Is able to like move.
I'll take the 11 style nosebleeds or whatever if I could just like fucking yeet myself to work.
Yeah. So on that note, I wonder, talking about teleportation, why would anything other than yourself go with? It's not like you'd be teleporting your clothes. I guess if it's a superpower, you can control it, you can bring it. But I'm thinking practically, realistically, like, if you could teleport to somewhere else, it would be you that's teleporting, not all your stuff.
Yeah. My naked ass gonna show up at the lettuce concert. Jam out. If they try to stop me, I'll fucking bounce out of there.
Okay.
What about you, Adam?
Time manipulation.
Oh.
Time manipulation.
I want nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
it never ends well in any story ever.
You'd be so. You'd be abusing it so much, I think.
You guys would not be abusing your telekinesis. You could say that it's just going to work, but once you got that power, come on, bro. You're going to be making shit fly all around.
All you're doing, you're not living life, you're just correcting your mistakes.
I'm just going to like, I need this, so I'll just snatch
at that point, nothing. I mean, basically, you.
So it's less about like undoing the time manipulation. I would like to do is less about like undoing previous things,
but
more
slowing
like
down,
slowing time. Stretching time, that kind of thing.
To give you more hours in the day to fucking
play
more fucking Starfinder games.
More Starfinder games,
yeah. To do the keyboard practice that I'm slowly lacking because of all the Starboard.
It's like I want it solely to get back my editing hours.
Yeah.
I'd like a superpower where I could edit instantly so I can have my life back.
I would love if that were to happen. And you start trying to do the editing and stuff, and you're going so fast that the computer is just like you're like clicking and waiting for what for you feels like 30 minutes or 30 seconds for the click to register.
It really extends my editing experience. All right, well, let's get into it. Let's talk about some some fake but real superpowers that you guys are going to get for your fake but real in my heart characters.
Heard, yes, same.
But so, not to just like throw ourselves right into that, I do have
Ziva turns into a bear. I'm sorry. No.
Yeah, I do have a question for you guys that I don't think any of you guys have considered. You have Clone Weldy still on the ship.
Oh shit.
And you need to take him to North Star.
I reckon. That's on the way,
Unless you
right?
plan on taking him to Hib
Can
with
we
you.
just teleport in the North Star?
Right, that'd be way more convenient.
Did anybody get teleport
Dimension door.
at this level?
Let's put him in one of those like Superman containers that he came to Earth in as a baby, and just like he'll get there at some point.
Slap him in a drop pod and shoot him
Yeah,
out the
right.
side.
Yeah,
Like
put
a
him in an
shuttle
escape
pod.
pod.
We'll
Just send him on
see.
his way.
Oh man.
Okay. As long as I have my AirPods, I can
Leave him with a bunch of Grateful Dead recordings on his
Gratefully
iPod
Oxyan,
and a couple
okay.
bags of beef jerky.
Yeah.
It'll be fine.
And a Cliff Bar. It's good to go.
Yeah.
There you go.
I got
Not
plenty of
sponsored by
Hyperleaf.
Cliff Bars. Yeah, I mean, like,
That's not nutritious, though, Weldy.
Because the beef jerky is.
You just sit there and wait faster.
It's mentally helpful.
I mean, where
Good
is
luck smoking that shit in a vacuum, man.
Where is Jetter at? Is it in near space?
I think so, but you also have the rune drive, so it like basically you're a D6 away from everywhere.
Okay. Love it. Well, then, yeah,
Okay,
we drop him
fine.
off, obviously.
Okay, I guess.
I am not
Drop
babysitting
Weldy
Weldy further than we have to. Okay?
I love, we've got like the potential of the Civ coming back with super weapons to take over the known universe, and the whole Hib conundrum and safeguarding a people's history. And it's like, oh, but we got to drop off our stoner at his day job.
I mean, I would.
But yeah.
I'll go with you guys, but
no.
it seems like a little bit above my pay grade.
Yeah, it is, Weldy. Definitely
Wait,
is.
you asking for more money?
I'm asking for more levels.
Have we
and
been
then I
paying
would hang
him?
out. No, North Star paid me, but then the Xenomorphs did. But now I'm going. back to
Xenomorphs paid you?
Oh, wait,
Kill
no.
him! Kill him! He's a traitor!
Motherfuckers. The only way they pay for
Gotta
anything
space
is
him.
by, like, fucking face-hugging
Right.
chest bursters,
sorry.
dude.
Gotta space him.
While you guys have been doing this and I've been hiding out on the ship, I've been watching a lot of Alien. I apologize. No, the Xeno Wardens are kind of paying me, but like now they're
What
paying
does
other
kinda
me.
mean?
It's an
because now they're
experience.
paying other me.
Oh.
And this me isn't getting paid, so I gotta go back to North Star to get paid.
So what you meant to say is, I'm not getting paid at all. Period.
Well, yeah,
You need a Cliff Bar, Weldy? I'm sure you're hungry.
Yeah.
I'm struggling.
Yeah, that's what you do is whale polyps.
Xeno's
though.
been doing a lot of experiments on me, y'all. And,
Oh no. Oh no.
so you take him to North Star. Let's just see how long it takes. Hey, I literally rolled a 1.
Yay.
So not long.
Hop and a skip.
Yep.
Teleport.
And
Basically.
yeah, you kind of, pull up to North to
We
the
just
North
slow
Star
down.
base.
I was like, all right, Weldy, just jump off and roll.
Yeah, you got this. Well, I really don't. And you land, and I mean, Ziva, your nephew is here for whatever that's worth. But whenever you land, old dude, Gavin comes
That's his
out
name.
to greet you. What does he say, Emily, to this giant ship that just landed unexpectedly?
Is that Ziva? Oh, hello. Welcome. Oh, welcome to North Star. It's been so long since I've seen you. How are you, my dear? Oh my gosh, good gracious. Come. We'll have tea. Do you still like that one Castrovillian brandy in your tea? I think I have some squirreled away for a very special occasion, and a very special lady. Come. And
Hey, I'm back too, Gavin, but
oh, hi,
whatever.
Weldy. Yeah.
Hey, is this the Weldy that has my sword, or was the sword cloned? Do they both have the sword?
They both have the sword.
Oh wow.
Oh wow.
We
this
could
is-
become weapons dealers.
That's how we fix
Dude,
the Starfinder
easy money
economy.
glitch, dude.
Yeah,
Easy
exactly.
money glitch. Infinite money glitch.
Yeah.
Oh my god. I mean, Ziva would definitely be like, "Oh, Gavin, it's been quite a while. I see everything here is, you seem to be prospering, and everything is quite nice. We're actually in a bit of a hurry, so we can't stay for long. We just wanted to make sure our dear sweet Weldy made it back safe and sound."
Yeah, so can I come back to work here, Gavin?
Oh, yes, of course. We never gave your position away. We told you when you went on your internship that we would, of course, keep your space. I'm not saying that Zickle has taken over and he's now, the best friend of the group.
You?
I'm not saying he usurped you. I'm also not saying that he didn't. But
Wait, hang on. Zickle's here?
I ain't not saying it neither.
yes, Zickle. Let me see. There, we've got the crew, and he would shoot a comm and be like, "Crew, boys, yes, come along. There's some people here I'd love for you to meet and well, get reacquainted with."
Fucking love Gavin, y'all.
Oh, man.
He's a little bit of my spirit animal.
crew.
Crew.
I mean, yeah, Zickle would certainly come out and be like, "Oh God, it's them, Liesel, this is the crew that I've been telling you about that came to our colony and they saved us and changed our whole lives."
Lisa
Flash.
just lights up. She's just like, "Oh, this is amazing."
Fel would flash Zickle the biggest smile and say, how's it
where
going,
I thought
champ?"
that was going.
Fel gets naked.
What did you No. They're still kids. No.
They're like 22.
They're like 20.
kids.
Okay.
It's been 3 or 4 years since we
it's
met
been a while.
them on.
Yeah. It's been a while.
Mr. Fel, I've done so much. What you gave me just unlocked all sorts of things for me. Look at this armor that I made.
That is
I made this.
incredible. That's awesome. Looks like you're quite the lady killer now, too, huh?
Zickle, you've been killing ladies? Oh my gosh, I don't even know you.
No, that's not what I meant.
Cold-blooded killer. And he looks it in that armor, and Mike goes and inspects his armor. He's like, "Oh, pretty good work." Yeah. And gives him some tips.
Oh, hey, Weldy, are you back? Yeah. Okay, cool.
It's not awkward. Don't make it awkward.
Yeah, we don't have to do a whole hacky sack heroes
Listen,
episode
I
here.
do want to say that the doc would want to greet his aunt
Yeah.
very briefly and
Absolutely.
And Ziva, darling, you look amazing. Are you getting younger all of a sudden? How?
Loxy, you sweet. And she totally calls you Loxy, by the
Okay,
way. That's
sure.
happening. Oh, come here, my darling. It has been so long. How are you? How is your mother?
She's well. I haven't seen her in a while. I'll be honest with you. Listen, I heard your
Same,
political
same.
career is taking off fantastically.
Really? And she would kind of pull you to the side. I have heard a few things. Are you doing all right, darling? I
Yes,
have a few
listen,
friends.
once you get elected, I may or may not need a tiny, itty bitty little pardon, okay? Just. We'll talk about it later. I'm sure you are very busy.
I'm a little worried. I mean, I will keep an ear out for you, but try and stay in the good graces as much as you can. I can only do so much.
Yeah,
Loxy.
you wouldn't want to become a herald of pain or suffering or anything like that on accident.
She would just cut you the coldest of fucking Well, anyways, it's so good to see you. And she's
You
kind
too,
of
you too,
petting
it's-
your hair and stroking your antennae back, just kind of like, oh, you got the little schmutz on you.
Little
So that
schmutz,
gets-
Please keep in touch. I will do my best around here. And again, the tiny little pardon. Just, when you get time for it, okay? No rush.
I would keep it
It's
that
wonderful
in
to
mind.
see you, Aunt Ziva.
Yes.
Wonderful to see you.
And she just like walks away, and she's looking over her shoulder constantly, like she's so worried. She's so concerned for you.
What has my family become?
Yeah.
She walks over to Mike, and she's like, "There's so many malpractice suits against him. I don't know what he's done."
Well, he like says, "Thank y'all so much, man. Like, truly, you saved me again. Us again saved. You know.
Just don't think about it.
Okay, cool. Well, y'all, good luck with that whole situation that you guys got to deal with. I won't say anything."
You promise, Weldy?
Yeah, I do. It's cool.
He puts out a pinky. He's like, "Yeah, man, we're set."
Yeah.
Kyber
I
rolls
like
his eyes.
I like the genuine.
All right, well, just so you understand, Weldy, you are privy to extremely sensitive information that could destabilize entire societies
Yeah, I
if
don't do that.
mishandled.
I don't want to do
I
that.
don't want to do that. That sounds awful.
Good.
Yeah. I'll keep that secret if you keep my secret.
That's fair.
Winks.
Yes, of course, Weldy.
I mean, I'm going to keep the secret anyway because I really don't want that burden. But, like, can y'all just not tell anybody what you know about me? Which is that I have a third nipple.
Yes, the third nipple.
Yeah, that's secret.
That's the one. Mike like slaps him on the back and then turns to Trevor, me boy, how's it going? And goes and like shakes his hand vigorously. Like, what you been up to? You look good. You look healthy.
All right, we
back
gotta
to the ship.
fucking go, everybody.
Yeah. gotta go.
It's good to see you. Goodbye, everybody.
I love how sometimes Ziva slips into like totally from what we do in the shadows. Nadia.
Naja.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Well, Naja's the best character on
I
that.
mean,
easily.
Yeah.
right behind
Her puppet.
Daytona.
Let's see
Jackie
how
Laszlo?
long.
No, Naja beats
Specifically,
Laszlo.
Jackie Daytona.
No, the Jackie Daytona segment
Persona.
of
That's
Laszlo.
just how we talk in Tucson, Arizona.
Sorry, go on, Adam.
So it's going to take you guys 3 days to get from here to Hib. And as mentioned, this is a level up episode. And I just want to say that this is, I think, going to be the last, like, floating in space in the Epic Tracer with downtime episode that the APA has.
We
Spoilers.
don't have enough time in this episode to do everything that we'd ever want to do. For what it's worth.
Well,
We might make the time.
3 episodes of RP coming in.
Level up. It's the
Talking
only way.
about us being in this location, not necessarily within a single episode.
Right. We'll see. But
We
let's
need to
start with
complete
level.
all of our life's goals right now.
Yeah.
In this
is
ship,
not
in
the
the
end-
span of 3 days.
This is not the end of RP by any means, but it is, it's things are about to pop off, and I just want you guys to enjoy it. And so what do y'all do in this journey? How do you level up? What's going on?
Well, Fel gets naked.
Of course.
Cool.
I mean,
That's
It's
just
his
gonna
body.
That's in the
happen,
privacy of his own room.
Oh.
Not entirely private.
Oh.
Well, yeah, you know what, Terry,
Okay.
you're my boy, so it's fine. Don't worry about
I
it.
mean, yeah, like I'm
And
in
look,
you.
it's not like you wear clothes anyways, and yeah, you're in my head.
Oh, in your. Okay, yeah, that's
he's
what
in
I
your
heard.
I
the
said,
phrasing
I'm
there.
in you.
I'll go. I'll get mine out of the way.
All right.
As with most times of Orange level ups, it's mostly internal sort of thing, so that's easy to do. But I just kind of want to take you guys through like Orin's headspace real quick on all this, right? So, it's been 3 years since Orin has cleansed the temple on Verces, and he's had up to this point a relatively quiet life, right? Like he's traveled around to a bunch of sacred Hebraic sites. He's meditated. He's spoken with priests. He's studied texts. He's spent time drifting aimlessly in space, reflecting on the mysteries of the cosmos. he's deepened his connection with Ibra a lot, right? He's made peace with the realization that, at least to him, that he was brought back to be an instrument of Ibra's will. You know, that Ibra is going to guide him where they want him to be, give him the strength to meet whatever challenges are set before him, essentially. So his faith in his patron has never been stronger. So, you know, internally right now, he's sort of working out that if Ibra has delivered him here, now, to this place, dealing with this situation, this is where he is supposed to be to, you know, work out some aspect of what Ibra's will is for this, right? He's got work to do. He needs to commit himself to kind of resolving this crisis. But for Orin, the idea of going up against a threat like this is pretty daunting, right? He doesn't know what's in store, but he knows he's not strong enough to face off against, you know, potentially an existential threat like the Civ. So, you know, at some point he's sitting alone, he's meditating, and he's praying, and he's asking Ibra for strength, for, you know, the power to sort of meet this challenge that he feels is going to be ahead of them. And, you know, he's just speaking to Ibra, asking for some stronger magic, right? For some tangible power to affect the world around him. Because as we're going up against these, like, psychically resistant enemies that we recently fought, he felt like he couldn't do anything against them, right? So he wants tangible power. And as he's praying, he has a realization. He's kind of glimpsing into the cosmic weave and everything. And if he focuses hard enough, he can sense that he can pull celestial objects towards him, right? You know, that, a strong resolve, he can focus, he can bend the orbit of asteroids and direct them as a weapon. And I have gotten access to, finally, a resolve spender. Finally, a resolve spender.
What?
Yes, and it's called Meteor Shower. And I can spend a resolve as a full action to call down meteorites in a 10-foot radius that deal 12d6 damage. And if I'm outside and can see the stars, it's 12d10 damage.
Jesus.
Whoa.
So it's pretty good damage there.
That's a meatier hit than I was anticipating.
Hey, absolutely, yeah. And you know, he also continues to focus inward. This is kind of a big level up, right? This is 15. We did get a ability score increase,
right?
By the way, we got a feat, and I got another new spell as well. So Orin he's focusing inward. You know, he starts to radiate light as he's meditating, and he can sort of feel his corporeal form start to change. His body becomes pure energy, not unlike his starlight form, but in a little more fluid state, right? And he sort of taps into these primal energies of the cosmic weave, and he starts moving around the room at really fast speeds, almost like teleporting, but just moving really quickly, dashing to and fro, that sort of thing. It's only briefly, but long enough for him to realize that he can also use this as a weapon, that he can manipulate his own energy to move through foes and damage them on the way without, you know, having to tap into them mentally, right? So I got a new spell. This spell is actually from the Drift Crisis, and it's called Ride the Wave. And it says that you turn into water, but Orin's not a water mage, as it were. So I'm going to reflavor that as like cosmic, you know, nebulous energy. Mm-hmm. And Ride the Wave is super, super cool. I just want to like tell you all about it really quickly. I don't want to like...
It's like my Warframe character.
So Ride the Wave, you transform into a stream. It says water, but again, a cosmic energy. You can move up to 120 feet with a supernatural fly speed, perfect maneuverability. The movement can pass through but not end in enemy spaces, doesn't provoke attacks of opportunity. And wherever you end your movement, any creatures or objects that you pass through take 5d8 bludgeoning damage. So like you can like potentially just like move all the way around the battlefield, move through every enemy, end up wherever you want within 120 feet, and deal damage the whole
so
time.
awesome.
It's pretty. It's from the Drift Crisis. It's a new spell. It's awesome though. I really like it.
Very cool.
That's intense.
So yeah, Orin's just like getting, all of these more tangible, physical offensive capabilities that he's prayed for from Ibra, because he doesn't know, what the Civ are capable of, what sort of psychic resistances they may have, and he needs more than just mind. By the way, I got a level 5 mind thrust, and it hits like a 15 d10 damage. By the way,
Jesus Christ!
Let's go. But yeah, I mean, again, lots of meditation, lots of inward thinking for Orin. That's about the extent of what I have.
Well, why don't we go ahead and give you an inspiration on top of that too?
I'll take it. All
right, roll it. I'm going to make all these personals.
Nice.
Oh yay!
Yeah.
Yay!
Okay. Thank you.
I like that.
Yes. Yeah. So Zach, roll a d6 for me.
Sure. Where is my d6? Okay. 5.
5. All right. This one is from Hot Rats.
Hot Rats. What up, Duncan? Shout out, Duncan.
It's another haiku.
Oh, okay.
Made from a random haiku generator at fantasynamegenerators.com
Okay.
with one word changed to Orin.
Okay.
Amusing nightmares, harmonies without answers. Orin among friends.
Wow,
Poignant.
I like that.
that's beautiful. Actually,
Thank you, Duncan.
All right.
Appreciate it.
a hot rat's cue, if you will.
Yeah, right.
Okay.
All right. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Next, who wants to go next?
I'll go next.
All right, John.
So, during these 3 days, Kuiper has been doing a bit of training for the past 3 days. And he's been using the Hollow Suite.
Oh, hey.
Yeah, because, if we fucking got it, we better use it, right? So, anyway, he's running a program that's meant to simulate the Fangs of the Moratosh. Something a little bit familiar. So, you have like the same kind of like setting of it, a lit brazier, stone flooring design, etc. And you could see Kuiper like donning a blindfold as he's going through his katas. He's been trying to hone his other senses because he's encountered concealment, for lack of a better word. Without going meta, I'm trying not to go meta here, but he's been, there's been more and more encounters of concealment, right? So he's trying to heighten his other senses to be able to improve his chances against concealment, which Kuiper took Blind Fight, which basically allows him to re-roll mischances from concealment. So
Nice.
yeah, so what we can see here is that like he's kind of in the midst right now of after his katas. He's been in a slow like chess match sort of with a silent droid that has been conjured from the Hollow Suite, and so he's been trying to use his other senses to detect where it is and fight it very slowly. And so, all while this is happening, he's blocking out all these other thoughts of like the Civ or the Bantrids, and like that there are 2 weldies, and
That's the real horror of this campaign.
right, exactly. The predicament of 2 weldies. One weldie was quite too much already. So anyway, just imagine like there's this silent droid that's just kind of circling him, looking for openings and whatnot. And so he's been doing this for quite a while, and so his mind is starting to slip more and more as he's starts thinking about like, well, how would D9 have handled this? Because the way they handle information like currency, and so before his mind drifts too much, his senses like spike and muscle memory takes over, and there's a flash of movement, and droid head clangs on the floor. So he takes off the blindfold and he kind of relaxes, and he feels like he's done his bit. But then he's going to leave, and he's going to go see where Mike is. And he's just kind of I guess, like, pull up like the GPS on the ship to track wherever Mike would be.
Did you install a tracker on me?
Zeno did.
Right. Yeah, years back. Had it this whole time.
Xenophanes, where is Michael?
Yeah, so Mike is in the gym area, which is kind of his home on the ship. And I think while Kuiper is doing his stuff, Mike's training by himself. And Mike is really conflicted, being given all this information politically about what's going on with the Bantrids. And he's trying to reconcile that with the teachings that he learned at the school of Demortage, the Fangs of Demortage. And one in particular, which is that a short demonstration of power is more effective than a long explanation. So that is something that was drilled into him at the Fangs of Demortage. However, in this situation, like, he's perfected the art of a short demonstration of power, but this is a situation that very much might require a long explanation, and that might be the better path to peace and reconciliation, right? And so he's kind of going back and forth and worried, like, okay, but what if we, give the long explanation and then it all falls apart and we still have to get into all these combats and we have to fight a war, So he's really torn about that, and he is in the gym and he's got, like, mobile like training dummies kind of. And he's just wearing himself out. He's with his Dashko. He's just, like, swinging and trying to cleave at the different enemies. And as he does it, like, he really gets in kind of a flow state. And coupled with, his newfound, a couple levels ago, ability to lunge to really extend his range, he's working on, and I'm just imagining, like, a badass martial arts movie with an axe. He's able to go almost flat, and just, like, completely swing. I mean, he's got a 10 feet reach with lunge and hit multiple enemies, but he's been working on spacing the dummies out more and more and being able to cleave beyond the normal parameters of cleave, because one of the things that Mike got is a gear boost, which allows him, it's called spinning cleave. So whenever you use the cleave or great cleave feat, you can make subsequent attacks against foes that are not adjacent to one another, provided each foe is within your reach. So I can combo that with lunge to have 10 feet of reach and hit any enemy within 10 feet of reach with my cleave.
Oh, that's pretty sick.
Hell yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah.
So he is, like, absolutely trying to get the maximum amount of range and hurl his Dashko around, like, in a broad arc and hit multiple enemies that aren't even next to each other.
So you're matrixing out here, just as Kuiper walks in. I mean, Kuiper, you see him just do it like a helicopter of death, in the gym when you walk in.
Working hard, it seems, eh?
Yeah. I'm trying to figure this stuff out. Look at this, and he does another one, and it just, like, gets, I mean, it almost defies gravity how far he's able to lean out and just, like, smash in, like, a giant circle around him with the edge of his Dashko. And you can see that he's been working at this for probably hours. Like, he is drenched in sweat, like he's near, muscle fatigue and just about every muscle in his body. And he's like, I've made some progress. As far as a short demonstration of power, my friend. I'm glad you're here. I wanted to ask you a favor. I need you to fight me. Like, for real. I need you to do your best to kick my fucking ass. I need you to be relentless and ruthless.
Why not? I guess I could use a new pair of shoes, right?
To take, one must first give, and I feel like that's one of the tenets I've always kind of struggled with, and I really want to put it to the test.
You sure about this, eh?
I've never been more sure of anything. And so I don't want to do a bunch of rolls, but like they have sort of a furious combat, and you can tell he is slowed down. He has been training himself to exhaustion the last few hours, and like you're quick, you're nimble, and he's having a hard time hitting you. So over time, you're plinking little shots on him, and eventually knock him out. And with no assistance from anybody else, he is able to come back to consciousness at 1 HP, stand up, and get back in the fight. Because I finally, for Titanium Mike, took fucking Die Hard.
Oh, yeah, baby.
Nice.
Only took 15 levels.
Only took
Look at
15.
that. Wow.
Yep.
Wow.
Got him.
Yep. So I think part of why he was worried, trying to get better at getting up from knocked out. He's gotten up from knocked out a million times, but it's always been a tax on his party. Right.
Right.
And to take one must first give, a lot of the time that's you guys giving your action economy for him, and he doesn't want you to have to do that. He wants to be the one who's giving by taking all the damage, and then can get back up and start the taking again.
Dude, Titanium Mike's never going to hear another bell for the rest of his
Never.
fucking life.
No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not.
I ain't
Let
gonna
me know
have
what no one sounds like.
I still got to spend a lot of resolve to get up, but I can do it all at the same time.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's interesting that Kuiper is able to knock out Mike at one point. Yeah, sure, it took him like training multiple fucking hours to get to that point and whatnot. But Kuiper is kind of a swole daddy now a little bit. He's like at fucking 5 strength modifier, 5 dexterity modifier, and like he's gonna have another one that's gonna be a 6 modifier here soon. So he's I can imagine he it's not just plinks as much anymore as it is just like hitting fucking hard. But
So what did Kuiper go there to find Mike for? Because of the fact that it's been 3 days and he's been kind of holed up by himself, doing like Hollow Suite stuff. So he's kind of gravitated towards Michael because of the fact that we've trained for a year, and this is now like he's the most comfortable with Mike. And so getting to see like what he's up to. It was more just checking in on him. Gotcha.
Yeah, I think they're both like, I think they've grown a lot as people due to their shared training in the Fangs of Demortage. And so their training, it seems to me a lot of the time, is like they'll go train by themselves to get their head right. And then once they've kind of gotten to where they want to be mentally, then they're like, I need the camaraderie, and then I need the distinct challenge of like having a partner to train with as opposed to doing it all myself.
Right.
Well, you guys have both earned yourselves personal inspirations. So, John, why don't you go first? Roll me a D10.
All right.
And Heath, you're going to be rolling a D10 as well.
Okay.
That is a 2.
A 2. All right, this is from J Laptop.
All right.
Terry Pratchett said, "In ancient times, cats were worshipped as gods. They have not forgotten this, and neither should Kuiper."
I love that.
Nice.
Fucking love that.
Nice.
Very good. Thank you, J Laptop. All right, Heath, what'd you get?
I got a lucky number 7.
Lucky number 7.
Nice.
All right. Okay. This one's a little bit of a long one. This one's from Cold Brew Crit.
Okay.
Jairus Talk, otherwise known as Jairus. Yeah, sure.
Every time.
Yep. All right, here we go. We all know that Mordrin couldn't have trapped Mike in the rune drive, even if he wanted to try. Mike's too damn strong. I mean, name another character on an actual play podcast to inspire a minigame. There aren't any. Not even God himself could strike Mike down. Surely Adam can't, and Lord knows he's tried. Could Mike build a desk so big even he couldn't move it? Probably. He wouldn't, though.
He might. He's an engineer.
I love that.
I love that it starts with like appealing to my pride on both levels. Your character couldn't trap your character. My immediate response was like, I don't know, maybe he could. No. I don't know. Maybe he could.
Yeah, you just
No.
keep spiraling in an existential ego crisis. You know?
So now I have to battle Mordrin versus Mike on my own personal time, playing both characters.
It's the only way. It's the only way.
Okay. Who's next? Emily, Josh?
I'll go ahead and go.
All right.
So, Fel, for this 3-day trip, is primarily sitting at his workbench, alternating sitting at his workbench and playing the pre-release version of Super Swarm 7 that he's got on his computer in that same room. So he's basically staying back in his
in the
workshop.
closed beta.
Yeah, he's in the early access. But he's sitting there just conversing back and forth with Terry, kind of bouncing ideas and wanting to, having enjoyed this newfound strength of having been essentially rebuilt and literally rebuilt as a character, like, you know, out of game speaking or out of character speaking, is wanting to be even stronger. So, Terry, what do you think? Like, I feel like I could reroute power here just a little bit to where on an overcharge and it's a little bit more efficient. You think that would work?
I mean, yeah, I think that could work. It tickles a little bit when you do that, but that's usually a good sign. So yeah, let's give it a shot. You want more power, more zip, more zap.
Yeah, I was thinking. I don't know if I had to put it in like a dice number, like an extra 2d6 or something like that.
You're right. I got the code for that.
All right, let's see what we can do. And Fel charges up with his now superior overcharge.
Oh boy.
Oh dear.
Superior overcharge to where when I'm spending triple ammo to shoot a shot, instead of just an extra 2d6, it's now 4d6.
Wow. Okay.
So
Nice.
a little bit extra,
Damn,
and I can
dude.
do that just normal shot. It's just or normal standard action.
Yeah, just boost the damage that comes out of that. So very nice.
All right, so that's great. But Terry, what about what if this were to somehow be able to, like, I don't know, like pierce resistances or like go through like some of the things we've been coming up against.
More penetrating, do you?
Yeah, like some type of like penetrating attack or something. I think I might call it.
Oh, that's a good name. Yeah. So what do you got in mind?
I don't know. I was thinking maybe some way to like shape the charges as they're shot to be able to. I don't know. I don't know if it'll. I don't think it'll work though.
I think we can figure something out. Look, just focus your brain power into my code, and then I will shift that into your weapon. And let's see, like, which one of your buddies here has resistance? Let's shoot one of them.
I'm not sure. And he thinks about it for a second. Guys, who wants to get shot that has a DR or energy resistance against fire and electric?
I have 15 electricity resistance.
Same. Well, with cold and fire, I have 15
Okay.
for both.
Either way, 1L is going to take a little bit of like some damage from it, because like it's
Ziva
So-
volunteers and Mike gets in the way.
Actually, so like
On
Ziva knocks on your door about that time.
so
Because
Fel answers the door, wearing nothing but a towel and holding his plasma cannon. The gun, the actual physical rifle, not the.
hello, fellas.
Never heard it called a
that's
plasma
your
cannon before.
It's got
plasma
19
cannon. Or
notches
you're
on
just happy to see me.
Shoots electric and fire, baby.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, Ziva, what can I do for you? What's up?
Well, I was actually coming to make a bit of an odd request. I can come back if this is not a good time.
Nah, actually, this is the perfect time. It's
Terry,
just
Terry in your mind says, "Shoot her!"
Do it.
we'll get to and
now.
out loud. Fel says, "We'll get to that, Terry." Ziva, this is the perfect time, right? I've been sitting here. I've been holed up for a couple days now. I'm a little bit stir crazy, just running off of caffeine, but I think I got something figured out. But I need your help to see if it actually works.
All right. Sure. What? How can I assist?
And Fel just kind of shakily levels the rifle or the plasma gun at her. It's like, look, this is gonna hurt, but I need to see real world if this can be if I figured it out.
All right. Well, you know, my safe word is cabbages. Okay, let's go ahead.
That takes you right out of it. It's a good safe word.
So Fell's like, all right, I have your consent to shoot you, right?
Sure. And Ziva kind of like pops her arms on the side of like the door frame to brace herself. Like, I trust you, Fell.
Fell turns on combat tracking, shoots her.
Mike flies through the door screaming, "Bodyguard!"
I think you should do another one of those overcharges. Listen.
Nah. We know the overcharge works. I'm not trying to kill you.
Yeah, I know. It works really good. It feels so good when you do it.
Oh, no.
Look, Terry.
Cabbages.
That's cabbages, Terry. Cabbages. So yeah, he shoots, and it successfully reduces my target's energy resistances and damage reduction by 5 against my weapon attack.
Okay.
So any DR you have, or energy, or it says and energy resistances. So
Wow.
I have.
you take 5 more, like basically you lose 5 DR.
So I would only have 10.
It
instead of
ignores
15.
5 DR
Yeah.
or
Right.
resistance.
Or resistance.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right.
Or and
So, yeah.
resistance.
Well, it says
but,
and.
But like,
Well, I don't have DR, so
Right.
I just have the resistance. So it goes through a little bit, and she's like, "Oh," and she like pats the area, like put out a little bit of fire, I guess. Like, well, that certainly packed a little more punch than usual.
And Fell grins, is like, "Hey, thanks, Ziva. What did you actually need?"
Well, I was actually going to ask for a little bit of hair, but I think we are at a tit for tat kind of situation now. And she
hair?
goes over and she pulls out of her hair like a hairpin and just pricks you on the chest, like in the pec muscle. And
Fuck, I didn't consent to that. What's wrong with you?
no, it's fine. Don't worry about it. And she brings up what looks like a compass, and there are 4 portions, like sectioned areas, and she opens one of the sections and like scoops up a little bit of your blood and says, "All right, you should be good to go now. All right, I think we're even."
What the hell was that?
yeah, you could take Ziva out of the shadow plane, but you can't take the shadow plane out of Ziva, I guess. Yeah.
And she looks at you. She goes, "This is an absolute compass. Have you ever heard of one before?"
I mean, I can kind of piece together, I guess, what it does. Like, points to me now, because you got my blood.
Yeah, it's I don't want us getting separated again. Whether that's on a space or even a plane. I want to be able to keep tabs on my crew. So
like, I get it, but also my privacy, though. Is there a way to turn it off?
I'm gonna
Or
go
does
find
it
the
always-
rest of the crew. And I will say, what you do notice is Ziva looks kind of haggard. Like, she looks like she hasn't slept in 2 days.
Got
And
those
so,
nightmares.
She looks real tired. But was there anything else you needed, Josh? Sorry.
Yeah, I've got one more thing. So, I guess Fell, Ziva part ways. And before we cut to Ziva, Fell goes back to his workbench. And again to Terry. So, like, look, I've got all these resistances now. But I want more. I want to be damn near unkillable. And I quite like my skin, so I was thinking maybe pushing towards like some type of acid protections or something. I think that's a thing we can do, right?
Sure.
All right, so
Who am I to say that you can't do that?
all right, smartass. I tell you what, I'm gonna work on it. I'm gonna figure it out, and I'll just program you. You won't even realize what happened.
I am also in agreement of keeping his skin intact and you unkillable. That works for me. You know, like, we kind of are in tandem there. You know,
got
so-
it.
We got this
Investment.
relationship
Yeah.
going
Yeah.
on.
A little bit.
Yeah. Since I got kicked out of the ship AI role by that nerd, you're my you're all I got left, pal.
But so what I took was for my Exocortex mod at this level, because this is 14th level mechanic for me, because that one level dip in soldier.
Well, speaking of, oh, go ahead.
No, well, I already have cold, electric, and fire energy resistances. So why not have some acid?
Why not?
Except this one is 10 energy resistance against acid.
Nice.
So hopefully we go up against acid stuff. Don't know.
I mean,
We'll see. Speaking of nerds and leveling up, I want to say that Xeno's presence as the virtual intelligence that kind of permeates through all of you is now going to give you guys a +2 on all recall knowledge checks.
oh,
Nice.
yeah. Very nice. Very nice.
Sweet. Super sweet.
Yeah.
Free money. It's free real estate, really.
Yeah, pretty
It
much.
is. It really is.
Josh, roll a d12 for your inspiration.
Okay. Oh, that's a 10.
It's a 10?
No, I rolled. I had a 10. So 7 on the roll.
Okay, this one is from Egg.
Hello, Egg.
Eggy boy.
Buy a reasonably priced keyboard. All jokes aside, here's hoping your dice clickety-clacky half as satisfyingly as your tappity-taps do. And when they clickety-clack onto a not-so-great face, use this inspo to smooth over the difference.
Oh, thanks.
Nice.
I do have reasonably priced keyboards. I'd also just have absurdly priced ones too.
Okay, good job. That's a good level up there. Emily,
Okay.
we come to Ziva now.
Yeah.
What's going on? You not sleeping well? Ziva's not sleeping well? Having some troubles?
Yeah. So we'll backtrack just a little bit. I feel like most everybody, this stuff is taking place on about 8 hours or so before we get to Hib. The last 2 days, Ziva has been furiously combing the infosphere, any sort of database that she can get her hands on to try and learn as much as possible to create a good diplomatic approach and be as culturally relevant as possible to not only the Bantrids, but to any other people that she might encounter on Hib. So any kind of Berthaden, thank you. Entities, that kind of thing. So she's actually taken a new language. She already had Breathaden, or however you say that, but she's taken Star Song.
Okay.
And essentially that is what the Oma, the giant space whales, sing. And they are typically the ships that are used by, I think, a lot of the I cannot say the word.
Breathedens.
Thank you.
We're going to get the hookup on whale polyps.
Yeah, we got that whale polyp in. But also, just in general, she's been just, again, sort of studying nonstop, trying to beef up as much as possible diplomatic ways. She's been practicing in the mirror sort of movements and different things that are sort of indicative to polite sincerity and sort of peace brokering and intonations and different things, not just focusing on the words, the languages, but how she delivers her overall presence. So over the last 2 days, she has essentially taken a new expertise talent, Universal Diplomat, which essentially means that I can use diplomacy to change a creature's attitude regardless of the language dependency. I can use it.
She just gives them a sly wink, and they melt.
Pretty much, yeah. And not only for language dependence, but also for creatures with an intelligence score of 1 or 2. So now cool. I can change their inclinations essentially towards us. So that's one thing. But so she's kind of stayed up a lot, really kind of digging into the infosphere there. And as we're approaching Hib, she's like, okay, sort of checking off a list of things to do. And that's when she grabs the compass out of her desk. And she sort of throws her hair back out of her face a little bit and then goes to see Fel. And from there, she would go, I imagine, to the gym to meet up with Kuiper and Mike. and she would ask as she comes in, gentlemen, I have a bit of a well, it's me. It's not really that odd, all things considered. I need a sample of your DNA, either follicle, a piece of hair, or some skin, or a scale, or blood, if you're so inclined.
You walk in right when Mike got knocked out. You just poke him.
Like, well, all right, I'll take care of this real quick. Don't worry about that. No, but she would give you guys the option. What would you prefer to give up? And she's holding the compass out, like it's not clandestine. She would tell you what it's about.
Yeah.
What would you give up, Kuiper?
He's gonna give up
his whole tail.
Just the whole ass
the whole tail. No. Actually, the end of his stogie that he was using for his cigarillo. It's got saliva on it. So
gross. Thanks.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah,
She
you can
takes
take
it-
this.
Ever the suave Kuiper.
Like, says literally a body full of fur. Could have taken a single piece of fur.
There's no trash can in here. I didn't.
okay.
I had to throw it
Is
away
it-
somewhere. So here, you can take it.
Wonderful. I will be your
to
trash
take, one
receptacle.
must first give.
What an asshole, dude.
She does. She puts your spit-soaked stogie tip into her
Go on.
compass. Yeah. Take an inspiration. I'm proud of you. Oh, Jesus Christ. Mike, what would you give?
He'll just like pull a loose scale, I guess, off his maybe off his tail.
Okay.
And
she slides it in. She says, all right.
Go on.
Only one
Yeah.
left. Okay, boys. And she's a little, again, she's just kind of got, dark circles under her eyes. Just looks a little kind of like she hasn't been sleeping. She looks tired. All right, boys, I'm going to go visit with Oren, and I'm going to get some rest, and I hope you'll all do the same. We need to be bright-eyed and bushy-tailed for our visit to Hib.
Then that means you need to get some rest in Capitan. I see those that wear around your eyes.
Kuiper, I thought that we were of a kind you don't mention when a lady doesn't look her best.
Well, put some makeup on then.
she's
God damn it.
Wow. She's got a cream for that. Wait, before you go, look at what I can do. And he does a giant cleave and hits 4 training dummies.
Stick
She
around, I'll
claps.
knock him back out, and you can see him rise back up.
And you're like, okay,
Quick
boys, and they're
recovery
back
rate.
into
This one,
scuffling,
Yeah. These boys will be boys. And she just kind of laughs and walks out. Where's Oren now?
Probably in his room. I mean, in his
Space.
quarters.
Space, just hanging out. Literally.
sitting on the nose of the ship outside.
He's doing cartwheels across the fucking windshield. You
It's
can just
it's
see
never
him.
easy.
Well, shit. No, she would kind of pop in his room. Oren, do you have just a moment? I need to ask a favor.
Of course, Cap. You all right?
Yes, I just been burning the midnight oil, as it were, trying to prep for our interaction with the Bantrids. Could I possibly get a piece of hair from you? Just a single strand is all I need. Would that be acceptable?
Yeah, Oren plucks a hair from his head and doesn't even ask a question. Just hands it to her. Sure.
And she slides it into the last open compartment and closes it. And as she does, the needle on this compass spins for just a second and then bing, points right at you. She says, thank you. And she kind of visibly, some of the tension sort of releases from her shoulders. She just feels a little bit better having this one way that she can keep an eye on her crew,
It's like Ron Weasley's mom
Yes.
with that clock they have that
Yes.
points to where they are and if they're in danger.
Absolutely. And she just kind of
if you're worried about it, you can always just ask. And he points at his head and then says, "We can talk anytime," telepathically to her.
I know, Oren, and I thank you very much for that. I'm just trying to be as prepared as possible for any potential outcomes. You know how that goes.
I do. Listen. I know you're worried about this coming up. And, look, I trust you. I'm going to take your lead on this, however you want to handle this stuff with the Bantrids. Just know that whatever comes of this, I think it's bigger than Bantrid culture stability. So...
She smiles at that. She's like, thank you, Oren. You keep us grounded in some of the bigger picture things, and that is one of the many things that I appreciate about you. Yes, I'm going to go get some rest. See you in the morning.
Yeah.
And thank you. And she kind of like wiggles the compass.
All right, Cap.
And she would head back to her room. And she is very tired, so she would certainly lay down. And you would notice as she lays down and she kind of like snuggles up, there's a stuffed Squawks, just like a little stuffed animal that she sort of like snuggles up next to. And she falls asleep pretty quickly. But unfortunately, her sleep is a little not very restful, I suppose. Because she is plagued by dreams. Just sort of like remembering some of the terrible things that the crew went through. Some of the terrible things that she subjected her crew to. And she's just kind of tossing and turning. And finally, things seem to slow down in her dreams. And things get dark and almost restful. But out of the darkness, she sees this very familiar scene. As the sort of mindscape of the rune drive comes into her nightmare memory. And she finds herself trapped again, just suspended in the air. She can't move, she can't speak. It's even hard to breathe. And out of the moving darkness that is this terrorscape, steps the familiar face of Mordrin. What does he say, Heath?
Ziva. Once again, you find yourself in this tricky role of herald. Doom and havoc will follow in your wake. In your words. You will shepherd in a new era of pain and suffering for an entire race. You will never be free of your true nature. You are, and always will be, a herald of pain.
And at that, the memory shatters, and she jumps out of her nightmare. And as she does, all of the pain and fear and confusion just sort of build up in her mind, and she's almost trapped again. Like, she can't breathe, she can't scream, she can't say anything. So instead, she sends out this piercing mental shriek, and everyone on the ship hears it in their minds. And I imagine it wakes everybody up, and they are technically, I'm not going to say they are, but like, in theory, with this telepathic scream that she took as her new feat, she can essentially inspire, I believe, the shaken condition in multiple targets.
Okay.
Here we go. Sorry, I had to pull up
I'm wondering where you were going with this whole thing.
Yeah.
Fell wakes up. Terry, shut up, man. I'm sleeping.
No, that wasn't me. I think that was the captain.
So just for the specifics of it, as a standard action, you can broadcast a jarring telepathic screech into the minds of nearby enemies. You can use this ability on one target creature per character level.
So only 15 targets. Jeez.
Only 15.
What a waste of an ability.
To nearby enemies. So is that how you see us, Ziva?
So this is for flavor.
Yes.
This is for flavor. This is this is the onset of this ability, okay? So it's uncontrolled. All right. But it is very cool. And essentially, There's, of course, the DR for Intimidate, but the targets are shaken for 1 round plus 1 additional round for every 5 by which your result exceeds the DC. So, very cool. I can target multiple creatures.
Well, yeah, I don't want to dismiss what you just did. The rest of you were just awoken by the scream of your captain that you haven't heard the likes of in 3 years since... I think Oren is probably the only one who's truly heard her scream like that whenever you guys were trapped and she got the corruption wrapped all around her,
Yeah.
Certainly Oren would like jump up at that, kind of like obviously shaken, right? And go, look out in the hallway. Ziva!
Yeah.
Is everything okay?
Yeah. I was gonna say, you hear very quickly the thundering of Mike's legs, and he kind of busts in your door in his boxer shorts with his Dashko, and it's just like, "What's going on? Who do I need to kill?"
Ziva's like in the center of her bed, knees up, like just sort of gripping the stuffed squawks, and she sort of sees you and sort of comes back into the reality of where she is, what's actually happened, and she says, I'm sorry, Mikhail, I did not, I had a bad dream. I'm so sorry, I didn't mean to wake everyone. And she takes a deep breath, and she says, I'm fine. I didn't get enough sleep, and I've just been thinking too much about too many things.
And Mike drops his Dashko on the floor and kind of walks over, puts a hand on Ziva's back and rubs it a little bit, and it's just like, "You're working yourself too hard, Captain, but not physically, but up here. Take some deep breaths. Look, it's a big responsibility we've got right now, but you gotta take care of yourself. We need you at your best as well."
And she just kind of looks up and she smiles, but it's kind of like a watery smile, no? It's like...
And you were there? And you were there?
You were there?
I think Oren would... obviously he's like right... Their rooms are directly across from Ziva's. When they both came out, Oren would be there as well. I think Oren would know, sort of instinctually, when he sees Ziva in that state, that she was back on the shadow plane. You know what I'm saying? Like she's experiencing some trauma, and he doesn't have anything to say that Mike wouldn't have already said, but he gives Ziva a very knowing look. I understand what you're going through.
Yeah,
because you were trapped in the dream, the nightmare escape too.
And he would say, Cap, you're not alone. If you need us, we're here for you.
I know. Thank you, Oren, Mikhail. Thank you. I'm sorry. We have a big day tomorrow. Let's all get some sleep. Yeah.
Can somebody give me a glass of water and some ranch flavored whale polyps, please?
I really love a glass of warm milk with maybe a little sprinkle of nutmeg.
About this time you hear Fell stomping through the hallway, fully armored up, ready to go. What's going on? What happened?
It's all good. The captain had a bad dream, which I don't mean to sound condescending with that. Like, we've been through a lot.
Honestly, I feel like that's almost sort of just a code word, right? Like, everybody in our crew probably has nightmares. Yeah. And we don't delve into it too much. It's just kind of like a constant, like letting everybody know, like, hey, you're okay, you're safe, you're here. And we just had a bad dream, right?
Yeah. No, it's the same way that, working with very young kids, they don't know how to express their emotional stuff.
Feelings.
So when they have anxiety and stuff, 50% of the time, a kid will tell you my stomach hurts, or something like that. Mm-hmm. And what they're really saying is I'm stressed out, I'm having anxiety right now, but they don't know how to express that.
Right,
so it's kind of akin to that, I feel like.
I will say the last thing, as everybody kind of leaves out of her room, the last thing that she does is she picks up the stuffed squawks and sort of turns it over towards its back, opens a little pouch, and there's a switch that says track, and on the other side it says protect. And she switches it from track to protect. And what this is she's had it for a while now, but this is the first time that I've had a chance to really talk about it. This is called a Sweet Dream Bot. And essentially it has two modes where you can either track your dreams and then you can like upload them to a computer console to sort of like see what you've been experiencing. And then to protect is essentially when the Sweet Dream Bot detects the presence of a bad dream oncoming, it will send out like sort of a
soothing
pulse to disrupt it.
Neurochemicals, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So that's what she does, and then she settles back down to go back to sleep.
Bad dream zapper.
Yep.
I would normally have you roll for your personal inspiration, but there is one here that is just too perfect to not give to you for this one. So this one's from Corey. Squish another sheep and take an inspiration.
Okay. All right. All right.
Fucking
About it.
cold-blooded Corey over here.
All right.
Wow.
Fine. I'll allow it.
Well, we'll just say that what that means is get some sleep, Ziva.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
For real.
you can
look
count
like
them however
shit.
you want. If you got to count them by
like
squishing them.
Yeah.
Well, that's what the zapper does. It squishes
It
the sheep
squishes
while
the
you're counting
sheep.
them,
Yeah.
so you don't have to worry about them.
That's just how that works, baby. Awesome. Thank you, Corey.
So great job, everybody, on their level ups. That was really fantastic. And yeah, I mean, Zach Oren pilots the ship. You know, slides
As
out
he
of the
does,
drift.
yeah.
Slides out of the drift, and it reveals an aerial view of Hib, which is like low rolling hills overgrown with like a purplish grass stubble. You see hundreds of tapered spiraling towers rising from the landscape. Though they appear uniform in design, the towers do vary in heights and circumferences, and you know that the particular tower that you're looking for is called the Starward Vault Tower, and it seems to be one of the largest structures that of the ones that you see. It is surrounded by its eponymous city. Starward is the name as one of the capital cities of Hib. It's a bustling metropolis that radiates out from the tower's base. There is a small spaceport attached to Starward Academy Flight School, so you can dock your ship there. Abadar Corp has already flagged you as contractors, and so you receive a very enthusiastic welcome from local officials upon landing. You know, all the Bentrons are like, ooh, hey, new visitors, hey, you know, like they're all very excited. There's holographic signs that point to a network of punctual ground shuttles that would transport commuters across the city. And so locating a shuttle to the Vault Tower is pretty easy. You would enjoy a nice 10-minute ride within a tidy but very crowded space full of Bantrids, and some other packed world species ranging from androids to Barathus. In this commute, you overhear some snippets of conversation from the passengers that seem to center on the region's sweltering weather conditions. Okay, and you see that there's like a local news feed also on the shuttle, in the middle of a weather report proclaiming that record heat waves show no signs of letting up, with temperatures predicted to rise over the next few days. And of course, as that comes out, the commuters are all like, oh, you know, like, oh, great. And then you arrive at the tower's base and you see a Bantrid. I actually have a picture of this Bantrid. Greets you upon arrival. So let me show you. This is the Bantrid. He's got
Looks like a Bantrid to me.
Looks like
Sure
a Bantrid. He is not beat up or dead, so this is a healthy looking Bantrid.
With a gold chain, though.
Yeah,
This man's a baller.
Yeah, and like it's basically that gold chain at the end of it has like his credentials, which is one of the spiraling towers, like a picture of one of the spiraling towers. He's got gold, or they've got gold eyes, and they've got like green spotting in their appendage fins. They have kind of like a blue and purple kind of oceany, iridescent look to them. And their rolling ball is a nice maroon color. And they say, "Hello, it's nice to meet you. And we'll see ya."
But we just got here. We're not going anywhere.
We just came in.
How rude. Is this what you call venturing hospitality?